the Cactus certainly is a weird one. But anybody that knows anything about French manufacturer Citroen will know that their creations are often weird and wacky. So it comes as no surprise that the C4 Cactus drums to its own beat. But let's start with the styling, because that's undoubtedly the most controversial aspect of the C4 Cactus. And it's not so much its actual physical lines as it is some of the quirks that it's included in the design. Take for instance the air bump system. Now these thermoplastic polyurethane panels on the sides, the rear and the front are filled with the little air pockets, and this is meant to protect the metalwork from impacts from doors and trolleys, speeds up to 4 kilometers an hour. It doesn't look bad either though. And the rest of it's quite attractive as well, even if it is in the way that your 9th grade life science teacher was attractive. Attractive only because it's different. You've got these angled pillars here and this floating roof effect, which is created by this black A-pillar. Around the front it's all rounded off, and DRLs rest high up in the bumper. And it looks like quite a high car too, but it's not. It looks like a big car from a distance, but as soon as you get up close to it, you realize it's no bigger than a hatchback. Now, despite it being physically small on the outside, it doesn't mean that it's small and cramped inside here, no. In fact, it is actually quite spacious, and the innovation continues. Look, no door handles, straps. In fact, the whole interior is styled to look like luggage, and high-class luggage at that. This top box here doesn't have handles on it either. It's also got straps, and then it's got these little rubber doodads here and help keep your iPad and gadgets in place. And there's 2 screens here, and the center one actually does all the controls that you'd be wanting if it comes to your HVAC, your navigation and your audio, leaving almost no buttons here in the center fascia. Now, Citroen has always been a pioneer. They were some of the first to pioneer adaptive headlights as well as self-leveling suspension. So keep this in mind for future designs. Remember, you saw it here first. But it's not so much that screen that gets to me, it's the second screen, which is essentially your instrument gauge. Now it gives you a readout for your odometer, your speed, a fuel gauge, and lets you know when to change up and down, and of course a cruise control if you've activated that. But there's the omission of a temperature gauge and no rev counter. I'm sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, those are 2 of the most important gauges in a car. But it doesn't only stop there, there's also the seating position. The steering wheel seems to sit very far away, and it's only adjustable for rake, but not for reach. The pedals sit very high, and all the pedals take very high as well. So you feel like you're driving with your knees around your ears. You'd swear that the French are all torso and no leg, ironically. That's not to say that space is bad, because the space is in fact very good for the front passenger. Citroen were very clever, and they moved the airbag from where it usually sits in the dashboard to up top here in the roof, and this frees up so much legroom for your passenger. The back is also super generous, so it really has big proportions on the inside. But it really redeems itself when it comes to the motor. This PureTech motor is a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol motor, and it's certainly got some spunk. It pulls beautifully. It makes 85 kilowatts, 205 newton meters of torque, and it gets the Cactus going like you won't believe. It makes it so exciting to drive. It really is the cherry on the cake that is the little Cactus. Now the ride is actually pretty good. It's fairly compliant. You're not going to get all the suspension travel that you'd get out of a big SUV. Drives very sedan-like, very much like a hatchback. The rear end is a little bit stiff, so if you go over an uneven surface around a corner, it may just catch you out. You may just feel it getting a little alive, but it's really not bad, and the seats are super supportive and really comfortable. It is something that the French cars get right. Their cobblestone roads means that their suspension and their brakes are top-notch. The 1.2 litre Shine version with the PureTech turbo motor retails for 284,900 Rand, which means that you're getting a lot of car for your money.